When was the last time you woke up feeling truly rested? Not just awake, but actually present in your body, clear-headed, steady, and ready for your day? If you're over 60, and your mornings feel like a slow crawl out of a fog you didn't ask for, you're not alone. I meet men every week who say the same thing. Doc, I'm sleeping, but I wake up tired. Or worse, I feel like I'm here, but not really here. It's not weakness. It's not just aging. It's something quieter, something that doesn't show up on a blood test, but that you feel in your bones. It starts in the mind. In that subtle shift when sleep becomes lighter, when thoughts refuse to quiet, when peace becomes something you remember instead of something you live. And here's the truth most people won't tell you: the exhaustion you're feeling isn't just physical. It's mental clutter. It's a brain that's been stuck in go mode for too long. Even when your body lies down, your mind doesn't know how to follow. But what if I told you, you could change that in just 5 minutes a night? No pills. No gadgets. No sleep apps. Just one simple, quiet practice, done before bed, that gently tells your brain, you can rest now. It's safe to let go, because when your mind learns how to pause, your sleep deepens. And when your sleep deepens, your energy returns. And yes, your spark starts to come back too. So tonight, instead of turning to the TV, or scrolling through the headlines one more time, I want to show you something different. A 5-minute signal to your body and mind that says, you're still here. You're still healing. And we're just getting started. Let me walk you into it, gently, starting with what's happening in your brain that most men never get told. Most men think their sleep problems, or their low energy, are just a part of getting older. Some even blame themselves. Maybe I'm just stressed. Maybe I need to push harder. Maybe I'm just not as strong anymore. But what if I told you the real issue isn't emotional, it's biological? It starts with something so basic, so overlooked, that almost no one talks about it. Circulation. More specifically, blood flow to your brain. You see, after the age of 60, blood vessels in the brain naturally begin to stiffen. The inner lining, called the endothelium, produces less nitric oxide, which means vessels don't open up as easily. Less blood flow equals less oxygen. And less oxygen equals slower thinking, lower focus, and yes, trouble sleeping. Now, when your brain doesn't get the oxygen it needs, your emotional system pays the price. That's when men start feeling foggy in the morning, restless at night, numb emotionally, but they can't explain why, disconnected, even from people they love. And here's the tricky part: it doesn't feel like an emergency. It just slowly becomes normal. You start saying things like, I guess this is just how it is now, but it's not. You're not fading, your brain is simply undersupplied. And the solution isn't found in a bottle of sleeping pills. It's in restoring circulation to the brain at the exact time it needs it most, right before sleep. That's when your body is trying to heal. That's when hormones like melatonin and growth hormone are quietly waiting to do their job. But they can't, not if your brain is still in fight or flight mode. So what do? We send your brain a new signal, not with medication, but with meditation. One slow breath, one calm image, one steady phrase can shift your brain from tension to restoration in under 5 minutes. And once you understand how that works, you'll never look at sleep, or stress, the same way again. Let me show you what happened when one of my patients finally made this shift, and how it changed far more than just his sleep. Let me tell you about Jeremy. He's 74. Lives in Colorado. Retired mechanic. Used to work with his hands, fixing things, building, providing. But when he walked into my office, his hands were still, resting in his lap, shoulders slightly forward, eyes tired but kind. He didn't come in for pain. He didn't ask for testosterone. What he said was something I'll never forget. Doc, he whispered, I don't know what's wrong, but I don't feel like me anymore. Not sad. Not sick. Just faded. Like his edges were blurring. Like he was walking through his days without really being in them. He'd stopped fixing things. Stopped listening to music. Stopped reaching for his wife at night. Not out of disinterest, but because that internal spark just wasn't there. And I looked at him and said gently, "Jeremy, this isn't about your body giving up. This is about your mind never being allowed to slow down." He told me his nights were filled with silence, but inside, his brain was still scrolling through old regrets, unfinished plans, quiet fears about aging. And so we began, not with medication, not with lab tests, but with 5 minutes of stillness every night. A simple breathing ritual. A calming phrase. A safe mental space to return to. That's it. In 10 days, Jeremy called me, "Doc, I slept straight through. No waking up at 2 a.m. No lying there with racing thoughts. I didn't just sleep. I woke up, feeling present." A few days later, he sent me a photo. He was back in his garage, smiling, holding an old wrench, eyes sharper, posture taller. He said, "I don't know what changed, but my wife noticed. And maybe for the first time in a while. I noticed too." That's what happens when you calm the mind. It's not about emptying your thoughts. It's about making room for you to return. Because when the mind begins to rest, the body remembers how to heal. It responds. In sleep. In energy. In intimacy. In connection. And it starts with one decision: to give yourself 5 quiet minutes before sleep, not to fix anything, but to come home to yourself again. Next, I'll tell you about the biggest myth that keeps older men stuck in shallow sleep and silent exhaustion, and how to finally let that lie go. Here's something I hear every single week: "Doc, I guess I'm just getting older. Sleep isn't what it used to be." That's normal, right? And I always pause, look that man in the eyes, and gently say, no. It's common. But it's not normal. See, most men over 60 have been quietly conditioned to expect decline. We're told things like, "You'll be up to pee all night, your energy fades after 70 inches, you just have to live with it," but none of that is written in stone. And what's even worse, this belief that poor sleep is inevitable makes us stop trying to fix it. We stop asking questions. We stop reaching for help. We start accepting a version of life that's just dull. But let me tell you the truth as someone who's worked with thousands of men. Insomnia after 60 isn't a personality flaw. It's a physiology signal. And it's often reversible. What's really happening? The body is missing rhythm. The brain is missing closure. The nervous system is missing safety. You might not even realize it, but these are some of the signs that your mind and body are out of sync. You lie in bed tired, but wired. You fall asleep quickly but wake up at 3 a.m. You stop dreaming. You avoid connection, not from sadness, but apathy. You forget little things, and laugh it off as, just age. You stop looking forward to tomorrow, but none of these are just aging. They're signals. And if we ignore them long enough, they become habits of decline. And here's the hardest part, because the symptoms are so quiet, so socially accepted, most men suffer in silence. Not because they don't want to heal, but because no one ever told them, you still can. You can train your brain to feel safe again. You can restore rhythm to your nights. You can feel real rest, the kind that reboots not just your body, but your presence. And it doesn't take a complete life overhaul. Sometimes it starts with something as simple as breathing before sleep. Because when the nervous system receives a gentle signal, one that says, you're done for today. You're safe now, the brain lets go. The heart rate drops. The hormones realign. And healing begins. Up next, I'll guide you step by step through a calming bedtime ritual that takes less than 5 minutes, but could change how you sleep, and how you feel in your own body. Now that you understand what's really happening inside your brain at night, let me show you the one habit I recommend to every man who walks into my clinic feeling drained, foggy, or disconnected. It's not a supplement. It's not a pill. It's not even a fancy meditation app. It's a 5-minute ritual that signals to your nervous system, You've done enough for today. It's time to come home. It's time to rest. I call it the grounding pause. And here's how it works. Step 1. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe. Sit at the edge of your bed. Gently place one hand over your heart. Feel your body. Feel your weight. Now inhale through your nose for a count of 5, hold it for 2, and slowly exhale through your mouth for 6. Repeat this 3 times. This simple breathing rhythm tells your brain, you're no longer in fight or flight. You're safe. You're done. Let's slow down. Step 2. Visualize your safe space. Now gently close your eyes. Picture a place that makes you feel grounded. It could be your childhood bedroom, a quiet fishing lake, your old garage, anywhere that holds no pressure, only peace. Picture yourself there. Alone, unrushed, accepted. This step taps into the brain's memory centers, activating feelings of calm, safety, and familiarity. You're teaching your body to associate nighttime with healing, not anxiety. Step 3. Whisper this phrase 3 times. In your mind, or out loud in a quiet whisper, repeat this slowly. I am here. I am allowed to rest. I am rebuilding. Say it gently, like you're talking to someone you love. Because you are. You're talking to yourself, the part of you that's been carrying too much for too long. These words aren't magic. But they are neurologically powerful. They shift your attention away from problems and into presence. And that's where real rest begins. Most men are shocked by how quickly their bodies respond. They feel warmth in their hands, a softening in their chest. Some even yawn mid-meditation. That's not coincidence. That's your parasympathetic nervous system kicking in, the one responsible for digestion, repair, and deep sleep. When you do this every night, you're not just calming your brain. You're retraining it. Rewiring it to release stress and receive rest. And here's the best part, the benefits compound. After a few nights, you'll fall asleep faster. Wake up clearer. Start feeling a quiet confidence return, like the world isn't weighing on your shoulders quite so heavily anymore. But if you want to take this even further, I want to show you a few specific foods that support this exact same nervous system, so your brain and body are speaking the same healing language. Let's talk about that next. By now, you've seen how just 5 minutes of mindful breathing can begin to restore your nervous system and bring you back into balance before bed. But what if I told you, you could take that calming effect even further just by adding one small, nourishing food? See, your nervous system isn't only listening to your breath, it's also listening to what you feed it. And the truth is, most men go to bed undernourished. Not hungry, but underfed in the very nutrients their brain needs to rest, repair, and recover. Let me introduce you to 3 foods that I've seen make a quiet but powerful difference in thousands of men over 60. 1. Greek yogurt with pumpkin seeds. The recovery duo. Greek yogurt is rich in 2 types of protein. Whey for fast repair, casein for slow, steady release while you sleep. That means your muscles, especially the ones in your legs, hips, and back, get what they need to rebuild overnight. Now, add 1 tablespoon of raw pumpkin seeds. These little guys are packed with magnesium to relax your blood vessels, zinc to support testosterone and prostate health, tryptophan to help produce melatonin naturally. It's a simple combo, but it works. You're feeding the body and calming the mind with real food. 2. Tart cherry juice. The natural sleep switch. Tart cherry juice is one of nature's richest sources of melatonin. Just half a glass, 4 to 6 ounces, about 30 minutes before bed can help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. It also contains anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation in blood vessels, improving circulation, especially in areas that matter most for men. But here's what makes it special. Men who add this to their nighttime routine often report not just better sleep, but more vivid dreams, calmer mornings, and deeper emotional clarity. It's not about sugar or flavor. It's about supporting the natural chemistry your body is begging for. 3. Banana with a dash of cinnamon. Gentle fuel. Gentle calm. The banana is often overlooked, but it's one of the best sleep foods for men. It provides potassium to reduce nighttime muscle tension, magnesium to support nerve relaxation, tryptophan for serotonin and melatonin production. Sprinkle a touch of cinnamon on top to stabilize blood sugar and add a subtle warmth that tells your nervous system, it's time to wind down. It's the kind of bedtime snack your body understands. Simple, predictable, comforting. These foods aren't trendy. They're timeless. And your body still knows what to do with them. You don't need all three at once. Start with one. Choose what feels good, what sits well, what calms your system without weighing you down. Because sleep isn't just about turning off, it's about setting the stage for deep internal repair. And food plays a leading role in that process. Now that your body and brain are learning to slow down together, it's time to talk about a new kind of strength, one that doesn't shout or strain, but rests deeply and rises quietly. Let's redefine what real strength looks like after 60 and beyond. Let's be honest. Most men over 60 were raised to believe that strength means motion. Get up, push through, don't slow down. Keep working, keep fixing, keep proving. But here's what no one told us growing up: stillness is a form of strength. And for men over 60, it might be the most powerful form you have left. Not because you've lost your edge, but because you've gained something deeper: awareness. When you choose to be still, on purpose, you're not giving up. You're tuning in. You're listening to your body instead of overriding it. You're noticing what's real instead of numbing what hurts. And that moment, when you sit at the edge of your bed, hand on your chest, eyes closed, breathing slowly, that's not weakness. That's a man taking responsibility for the one thing he still fully owns: his presence. You see, when you begin to sleep deeply again, you move better. But more than that, you decide better. You speak with clarity. You walk with purpose. You respond instead of react. You lead with calm instead of noise. Your partner feels it. Your children notice it. And most importantly, you feel it. It's that subtle shift from surviving to I'm back in the driver's seat. And it all starts with one quiet decision: to stop glorifying exhaustion and start honoring restoration. You've done more than enough in this life to earn rest without guilt. Now, you get to define strength on your terms. Not how fast you move, but how deeply you live. And the deeper you rest, the more fully you return. Let's carry that truth into our final message together, because what comes next isn't about sleep. It's about rebirth. If there's one truth I wish every man over 60 could carry into his heart tonight, it's this: sleep is not a surrender. It's a return. A return to rhythm. A return to clarity. A return to the you that's still very much alive beneath the fog, the fatigue, and the years of pushing through. For decades, many of us were told, real men power through it. You'll sleep when you're dead. But the science, and your biology, tell a different story. When you sleep deeply, testosterone rises, blood vessels heal, brain cells clear away inflammation, and your identity sharpens again, not as someone trying to get back to who he was, but as someone stepping forward with intention. And that forward step doesn't begin with a supplement or a program. It begins with something much quieter: a 5-minute pause. A bowl of real food. A whisper to your nervous system that says, you're safe now. You can rest. That's what rewrites the story. Not overnight. Not perfectly. But honestly. Steadily. And in a way your body recognizes, because it was designed for this. So here's your invitation. Tonight, give your body what it's been asking for. A breath. A moment. A gesture of care. If this message spoke to something inside you, if you've ever felt like you've been awake in your own life but not fully alive, type the word restore in the comments below. Let me know you're choosing to return to yourself. Let me know you're not done yet, you're just beginning again, with rest at your foundation and strength in your silence. And if you know a brother, a father, or a friend who's been quietly struggling to find peace in the night, share this message with him. Not to fix him, but to remind him he's not broken. He's rebuildable. You are not past your prime. You are on the edge of something deeper. And it starts tonight. Sleep well. And rise steady.